What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So we do have Queen Bumblebee in the house. So big shout out to Lamb Tran out of California for this. He gave me a great deal. He's also selling some additional statues at a great price. Go ahead and show those real quickly. All right, just to show you guys, he's selling this LX Vegeta 4K. This is local pickup in California. MRC Trunks 5.8K. This Boo life size 2.2K, this Boo life size 3.5K, all local pickup. So trusted seller, if you guys are interested, contact him on Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description below. So first off, that is freaking heavy, folks. Like, holy crap. That is definitely over 100 pounds. The box weighed 130. I'd probably say the box and all the styrofoam weighs maybe 30 pounds. Probably not. The box was totally destroyed. Like, holy crap. I told the UPS guy just to leave it in the freaking driveway, and I unboxed it just in my driveway. And then this is the secondary box that encloses all the additional little parts. So lots of parts. That's why I brought this one downstairs. I just brought the entire thing down. But I'm going to have to move some statues so we can go ahead and transport this into the other room. Extremely heavy though. Like, this is heavier than Optimus Prime, without a doubt. Like, Optimus's core body is what I mean, because Optimus is similar where he comes in sort of like this, but he didn't have his head attached. And but just this body versus Optimus, this is probably double the weight. It's smaller, but it's double the weight. Yeah, so looking at this initially, we're probably gonna have to angle it maybe like that in the setup. You know, because he is looking off to the side. So this one is AC adapter, nice long cord. I do have a plug-in right in that display as well, which will work really good. All right, let's see what we got here for COA. Now, this one actually was originally owned by Mike Costa for 45 of 266. Mike sold it to Lamb. Lamb sold it to me. So now I own something that Mr. Costa previously owned. So this thing is just bounce collectors, but it is home and it's not going anywhere. All right, let's see what's inside here. Alrighty, folks, so here's what we're working with. That's the extra base to display the extra head. It's not too big. I think I could probably fit that. Then there's the two heads. Plethora of parts. Wheels. So, yeah, quite a lot of parts in this piece, though. Like, that is one thing about Transformers. It is literally like building a Lego set. There is probably 30 plus parts in here. So, yeah, we're going to have to set up the entire back part first, then work on the front. And the back has, you know, quite a bit. So we'll work on the back part in the other room. I'm moving this immediately over, but to move it over, I'm gonna have to move a few statues. You know, it's just risky trying to carry it through here. So we're gonna have to probably leave this. Probably remove the links, remove the two Warcraft and angle Kong, and maybe move Kong. I think that's all we'll need to move. But this statue is a little bit older. It's been out a few years, so I'm probably not going to show you an unboxing. You see what it is. You know what it's like to go ahead and set this up. Just a lot of parts. And frankly, that's not even like something I would be interested in ever watching. You can see here, and there is other videos out there. So we're really just going to review it once I get this set up. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and I'll show it to you in the man cave here in 2 seconds, and we can review it and see what we think. So hold on. All right, I wanted to show you what I'm working with. So yeah, I had to remove a few statues. I brought this box just entirely in here, and all the other one, these are the parts. Also my work laptop because I'm also working right now. I put Bumblebee on a Lazy Susan for now. I'll probably remove the Lazy Susan once I'm done, but I just think it'll be easier having him on a Lazy Susan. There you can see the size difference. Of course, Bumblebee's missing a lot of parts, but I think the size is good. Like, it scales to Optimus good. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and set it up now using the Lazy Susan. Lots of parts. Let's get to it. Alrighty, I did want to show you guys the back part right now. I got everything finished. There's basically a bunch of parts right there, and then sort of like his wings. I gotta say, these car doors are incredibly detailed. You know, they have almost like that, definitely that car door texture. They got everything that you would think to put in here. The speakers, the door lock, the window riser, everything. Super detailed, much more detailed than that Prime 1. The Prime 1, you look at the car door, it is so basic in comparison. Like, this is miles more detailed, no doubt. So the highest point is going to be that wing. That's the part that is going to stick up into the wood. Everything else, as you can see, height-wise is perfectly fine. Ton of detail on that back part, though. I mean, look at that. That is incredibly cool and detailed. You know, very, very cool. So now we got to work a little bit on the side, and then we work on the front. Alrighty, YouTubers. So here's Bumblebee all set up. So do note that this one does have damage to the face that I'm getting a replacement part for. You'll see it right here. As soon as I get the replacement part, it will cover all of that. So that is a replacement part. It did come with damage on several other pieces. I've glued it all. The battle damage mask came broke. That came broke. That came broke. I glued it all. We did insure it, so I'm also going to file a claim. Now, due to the depth of the wings, I can't angle this any differently and fit it in the garage shelf. So it pretty much has to angle like that. Or I remove the back like wings and door, and then I can push it back much further and angle it however the F I want. I did want to show it to you like this, but most likely I'm going to be removing those back doors simply due to the depth of it. You know, because, I mean, this isn't a horrible angle by any means. I mean, you're not going to be missing much if you do remove it. I mean, obviously it's part of Bumblebee, you know, but if you remove it, you're just not going to visibly see that and that. You know, somewhat similar to that little bust. That one doesn't have them either. But if we remove that, I can push him back 5 inches and angle him diagonally so I can get a better look at that face. This angle isn't horrible, but I definitely don't like him looking off this direction. You know, I feel like he should be looking towards me. You know, like Optimus is a perfect angle. It's looking towards me. B, ideally, he would go better like over there, but due to the setup of the garage shelves, it would not work. You know, the best I could do is probably right there, but I want Bumblebee right underneath Optimus. So I think we'll just remove those back wings and it'll give me much better angles, way less depth, you know, and I think it'll look better. So luckily this one is a plug-in. So it lights up just right there, and in the eyes, you know, AC adapter, Optimus, there's a bazillion little annoying batteries, which is excruciatingly, you know, it's just painful turning on. The only one that's even not half bad is the eyes. Everything else is such a pain. So I wish Optimus was also like Bumblebee. Now, this is definitely probably more difficult than setting Optimus up, honestly. Optimus, the only issue I had was with that matrix of leadership. Bumblebee, you know, we had multiple damage. In addition to, you know, I knew it was damage deriving. Yeah, we definitely need to get this angled better. Also allow me to see Lurtz better, because from this angle, it's blocking him a little bit for sure, but definitely got to get this angled. Outside of the damage, initial impressions, I definitely really like it. There are a few things I think they should have changed. One is this license plate. They just made it a standard, like gray doesn't look like a license plate, where the Prime 1 actually looks like a license plate. So I think that definitely should have been fixed. I also would have painted that logo on the base right here a different color or make it more pronounced. You know, I don't mind it silver, but it just feels underwhelming, if you know what I mean. I also probably never would have designed this bust to have Bumblebee's head going that direction, I think I would have preferred it just coming straight at me. You know, generally, I'm not a huge fan of busts when they have the head angled a certain direction. You know, because it kind of forces you to display that bust in a certain way. You know, for me, I can't display this, you know, any other angle on a bottom garage shelf unless I remove those wings. And even with the angle it is, I did have to put that on the outside instead of the inside, which isn't a huge deal, but you are forced to display it at this angle with the back, you know, windows and everything. Paint app looks good. It is a slightly different color than the Prime one. Prime one's a little bit almost like darker yellow, if you get what I mean. Slightly more metallic paint app as well on that one. This one, the paint app's also similar to this, where it's kind of more of a, you know, not quite as metallic paint as the Prime 1 uses. So, I mean, I do wish it had more of a Prime 1 metallic paint app. I think that looks better. You know, it is a car, and in general, you know, cars are shiny. They should have used car paint in general. I think the color's good. You know, I just would have made it slightly shinier. It's the same thing could be said about Optimus. Now, it's not like a deal breaker by any means. There's still a ton going on this bust, ton of detail. I'm glad the light up is how it is. You know, definitely a really cool overall bust. Extrusionally heavy. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is so heavy. I did not put the COA up yet. Looks like Lamb never even set this up. So I need to, you know, get that set up. This probably took me a good 40 minutes to get this completely assembled. And of course, I had to glue multiple damaged parts. Now, the only damaged part that's, you know, like truly visible would be the battle damaged mask. I'll show you here later. That one is definitely visible, so I don't ever actually plan to display that. You know, it is kind of just, I mean, once I remove those wings, I'm going to push it back into the left, but that will just be in the middle. I never had planned to display that, like have him wear it. I know Lamb was always displaying it just due to the fact it had the damage on the face. You know, because Bumblebee is supposed to have, obviously, that little thing right there, as you can see, surrounding his mouth that he's missing. So, Queen Studios is shipping the replacement part directly to me. So as soon as I get that, I'll probably post some photos up on my Instagram. That license plate could be an easy fix. You could probably just, you know, I wouldn't paint it myself, but, you know, this part does come off. And so, you know, if you wanted to get this, you know, painted to look like that, I think it would look better. Because like this, it doesn't look good. That should have looked like an actual license plate. Like, as you see, it's like white and black. And this is just like one color. They definitely should have did a much better job on that. You know, so that's definitely a point off the book. Overall, I'd probably rate this a solid 8 out of 10. You know, it does have a lot of good battle damage throughout. Nice light up. There's a lot of inner detail down here. You know, you had to install these things right here. They were kind of a pain. Yeah, and that is where that one got damaged. That entire yellow thing right there broke off. And it's glued right there. You can see the glue. But it is, you know, like down low. So from normal viewing, I'm not going to see it. Of course, we are going to file a claim because I do deserve some sort of, you know, compensation due to the fact the boxes were so beat up by UPS. Now, they're very heavy, you know, but they definitely, you know, were throwing those boxes around. So, you know, we did have insurance on this bad boy. Yeah, he definitely has like a lot of battle damage, which is one nice thing. Anytime you get damage on a battle damage statue, it kind of like is not quite as bad. When it's a clean statue and there's battle and it's broken, it makes it so bad. You know, and this one, you know, of course, also has that battle damaged look. And frankly, I'd say it's painted better, the battle damage on this. You know, like the way they did that is better than the way they did this. You know, so, I mean, due to the fact that a Prime 1, like 9-year-old Bumblebee is more detailed in several areas than this one, better paint app, does kind of, you know, it's like, really? Queen. There are some parts that are definitely far more detailed on this, though. You know, especially like, you know, the back doors and some of the micro detail that's just hard to get on this guy. You know, just looks better on this. You know, but like even the way Prime 1 did the tires, the way they did like the grime in it, I think looks better than the tires on that. It's definitely a really cool bus, no doubt. Of course, I do wish I could get this top shelf, have a better angle. For now, we're just going to have to remove those back doors, and I'll show you here in a second what that looks like. And, you know, of course, I'll get the replacement part for the face, because I do want to display this unmasked 100% of the time. You know, and then get compensation for the multiple damaged parts that came on this. I think there was 4 or 5 damaged parts on it altogether. You know, and all of it occurred during shipping. So it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Luckily, you know, for the most part, you know, I'm not going to see that damage. You know, but yeah, let's go ahead and remove those back wings and angle this better. Alrighty, so here's the battle damage mask. It broke off right there. So yeah, that'd be like completely visible right there. So yeah, we'll never display this. Alrighty, folks. So yeah, this works way better. You know, I'm actually probably going to display it like this. That head there, this car. The COA will be removed because I'm going to do a life-size Allspark right there. So I'll remove the COA, maybe back there. It's not important. And then him with his bust. So yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, this was all the parts I had to remove. You know, of course I do prefer to keep it on, but as you saw, the display looks much cleaner and better with me being able to angle him so he's basically looking directly at me. And I pushed him back so he's not blocking alerts quite as much, you know, so blocks a little bit of the tip of his thing, but I could just, you know, move alerts back actually just a little bit and, you know, view that. So yeah, this looks much better. Now we just need to get that replacement face part. There is technically one part of it. And by the way, whenever I do have damage, I use Zap-A-Gap to fix it. Hold it for like 30 seconds to a minute. It's very strong. This is one of the face parts, but it's actually damaged as well. Has some issues. So this is pretty much worthless, but normally, you know, this would go like right here. It is missing parts of this as well, though. But once we get the replacement, it'll cover all that and look better. You know, check out that eye detail, though. Really, really nice. Now, let's unplug it, though, so you can see, you know, without. You know, that is like the inner eye detail. You know, and then, of course, if we want to compare it, I'll just take this head off. You know, that is like the Prime 1. You know, just like a miniature version of it. You know, so this is advertised as a human life size, not a real life Bumblebee life size. It's not how big he would be in real life. He is bigger. He's the size of a Camaro, completely transformed. You know, but it is a good sized bust. You know, it's big, it's heavy, it's detailed, looks good. Of course, like I said, I would definitely change some things on it. And so for that reason, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Optimus is definitely a superior bust overall. You know, Optimus is much bigger and, you know, more presence. Now, details similar between the two. They both have that more flat, like paint out, not the metallic look. You know, I think, you know, in a perfect world, if I had someone who could like repaint this whole thing, I would. I'd repaint it basically to look like that Prime 1. Same thing with this. I'd paint that to look just like that. And then I'd fix that license plate, fix all the damage so it's not, you know, like professionally repaired, not just a simple glue job. Thing is, the box is just so big and heavy. Just to ship this back and forth between, you know, like someone to fix it, it's going to cost $400. It's like $200 a box almost. It was almost $500 just to ship this from California to me. It's because the boxes are so big. You know, and I've never actually tried to lift Optimus, you know, but he's definitely heavy, but I would say Bumblebee's probably heavier. Even though he's smaller, he feels heavier to me. And heavier does not mean better. I would actually prefer my statues to be lighter, because then they're less likely to be prone to damage during transit. If it's lighter, then the person carrying the box isn't going to drop it and throw it around quite as much, and it's definitely going to survive. Instead of doing solid polystone, you could definitely do PVC. I know, P1 uses a lot of PVC for these transformers, and those rarely arrive damaged. I've only actually had, truly damaged, I guess, Megatron. Other ones I damaged while setting up. But yeah, I think Queen could have made these much lighter, But overall, it's still a great bus. I love it. It definitely looks really good in this setup. So I'll post some updated photos on my Instagram and maybe just do a little YouTube short once I get this, with the mouth guard. And, I got to fix this whole room so I can, get some good photos of the whole display as is. But let me know what you guys think of Bumblebee Bust by Queen Studios. Great overall piece. Solid 8 out of 10 bust. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.